What's up, guys? Tyler Bereman. I'm here at Red Bull Imagination 4.0, the fourth edition of this event, and we're so stoked to be back here. Once again, the course has outdone itself for Jason Baker and his whole Dream Tracks crew. Is just as much of their imagination as it is mine. So, got my weapon to go to battle with. This is actually my quarter pipe bike that I rode at X Games. I got a little extra juice in the motor, just nice for some of these big jumps. Yes, we'll just start here at the front on this thing and work our way back. So, the biggest thing with this whole event and all these jumps, you gotta have strong wheels. You gotta have the strongest wheels you can possibly have. These jumps are, the consequences are big, let's say that. So, gotta start with really strong wheels. We got XL A60s, W hubs, kite hubs, supplied through W. Strongest wheels you can get, so gotta have that. Suspension, stiff suspension. I run A-kit. Spring stuff, which is cool. Thank you to WP. And yeah, really stiff suspension. You need basically supercross suspension for these kind of jumps, and it's basically like the sickest supercross track freeride course, hybrid, whatever you want to call it. This is, you'll see out there in this, from the footage from this week into the competition. A lot of these guys have a racing background, and that translates so well into freeriding. Case in point, I was a racer, I'm now a freerider, and I'm being able to build the sickest tracks. I mean, this is a course, but you can turn this course into a track, and it's insane. It's got the WP clamps to match the oversized forks. Attention to detail, my mechanic Rob, RNC Motorsports, got these things all polished, looks super good. Pops. Kind of like a gunmetal grayish painted frame, super cool. I like the way it looks. Not really works, I guess. But looks insane. And then moving to the motor, he went above and beyond and polished the stock header. They produce a little bit more bottom power than the FMF. I'm an FMF guy, always have been. I love the look of it. Went above and beyond, threw a little polish on there, chromed that thing out. Looks good, pops. And Rob, again, my mechanic, his attention to detail. It's got all the little cream colors and coated parts. Everything looks insane. Everything all matches together. You see the brakes all Cerakoted, the brake hangers, everything all matches really well. So the biggest thing is that. And then for my motor work, I threw a piston in for quarter pipe, a little bit more bottom, a little more torque, and then got a vortex ignition mapped by Twisted Development. They got this thing barking, so you need that for 180-foot hooks. So yeah, I'm super stoked, obviously, to the pegs. I just run stock pegs with teeth welded onto it, but yeah, everything looks good. Obviously Cerakoted swing arm, and then into the graphics. Like the graphics I'm super hyped on. This is my new signature gear that just dropped on Fast House, so little shameless self-promotion. Go get it now at fasthouse.com, the TV collection. I love it. It's got some blue camo in there. This is the logo across the front of the chest. This is a fun week out here, but On Any Sunday was my favorite movie, and it sparked everything for me. So on any fun day, this is a fun day here, and that's in my gear. So tying everything all together with my gear, I have this peace sign TV logo in my gear, some flames, the blue camo and red and all that. Got all the cool colors that I like that are all tied together. Same all art from my gear. And then I got a little Red Bull Imagination logo ghosted in here. Of course, got to have the Dream Tracks. And then this is Never Idle, is John Deere's little punchline. We love it. I've never idle. And they supplied the tools for the job, so had to throw them in the rear fender. And of course, can't forget E3 Ranch. None of this would be possible without E3. So shout out to those folks, the family, and that's what makes this place so special. So that's my bike. Of course, got the Thrill Seekers seat cover ribbed for my pleasure to go big. Matches everything color matches all together. But I think with all that, like, if you technical people out there, 1351, 180 feet with the setup jump, third gear, everything she's got. All this being said, this is probably my favorite thing that I get to look down at every time I take off. It's for our buddy Pat forever. He was an inspiration, so got to look down and remember our homie and do it for him, live like Pat. So this is my bike, this is my steed, this is my weapon we're going to battle with, and couldn't be more hyped. So far so good, and we get get to have fun now on Saturday. 2 teams, head captains of team captains of Twitch and Matto, legends of the sport. There's going to be a lot of banter between those two, a lot of banter between the teams, and yeah, we're just stoked to see this thing come to life once again. I leave this course every year of like, how can we outdo last year? And we just have all these ideas of what we want to do to basically get back to 2 wheels as a whole, and not just free riding, not just freestyle, not racing, whatever it may be. The reason why we ride dirt bikes is because it's fun, and we want to show that. We want to bottle that up, that fun, and distribute it to the world. So that's what we're doing. Imagination is creation, and we're out here creating, and you can't create without an imagination.
How's it going, guys? Vicki Golden here. We're at Red Bull Imagination 4.0. We're gonna go over my bike a little bit. I did bring one of my freestyle bikes here, so it's got nice stiff suspension. Normally with clickers and such, we went way stiffer, way faster. For ramps and stuff, I like my bike a little dead for tricks, so we sped up rebound. Obviously, we're falling from the sky multiple times, so we're just gonna go as stiff as we can at this point. After that, obviously I have grabs for some stunts. That's shaved down seats. So freestyle bikes aren't the best for this type of stuff. So when you watch like me, McNarls, or Julien per se, we obviously have a cut seat, so we're not in the right spot for the seat for like trying to turn where we want and stuff. So in that sense, it's a little bit harder for us, but not too terrible. After that, I actually move my starter and my kill switch off the bars because I've never done it, but for the sake of the veterans teaching me what not to do, if you come back from a trick and put your hand down and hit the kill switch, so we just take those off and we actually relocate them. And when I say we, I don't do any of it. My mechanic Rob does. He relocates the starter just here under the radiator guards and stuff, so that way they're easy to get to, but not too easy to get to. After that, for freestyle, there's not a whole lot I do to my bikes, just for the sake of I've got so many of them that we just I put one on the East Coast, I put one in Central, and I have a couple at home. So to do something to one bike, we do it to all of them, so it gets a little tedious if you want to build motors and stuff like that. So I don't really do too much there, and for jumping 75, you don't really need a built 450. I run VP Pro 6 because pump gas is a little unreliable and you don't want that bog off the ramp, so I like to have good clean fuel in there. Anything after that is kind of just preference. I put a 52 rear sprocket on just for the sake of having second being all bottom end. Mitch cuts us PC pipes a little shorter because we don't have to pass sound, so that's pretty sweet. I prefer the MX53s just for a hard pack tire, and I run a little less air, so it kind of makes up for it. This is all mainly for ramps out here. It's probably the opposite of what you want. So yeah, not too many crazy things. Yeah, run X-Trigs. I run pegs. Yeah, and W hooked us up with some wheels because I called him and said we're probably not touching landings, so I need something special for that. After that, it's just kind of bolt-on parts for comfort and things like that. We went a little fancy, put some tie bolts on there, and obviously, as you can see, we Cerakoted the frame and it made it look cool. So yeah, this bike's built for style and not much else.
Tom Parsons here. We are here with my my Gas 450. I don't know, what you just want to know a little about it, huh? Honestly, I don't do a lot. I ride pretty much the same setup for free ride, ramps, this stuff. Moto setup's different, but this bike basically stays the same all year long for jumping. It's basically bone stock. You know what? Maybe that's a testament to the Austrian brand, the Gas, but I run stock pipe, no motor work, no nothing. Like, honestly, the most important thing is these guys, WMR. They're my suspension guys, so they set up, revalve, do all that, set it up for this jumping and everything. And then the only other thing really I do is gearing change. I normally run a 52, especially on ramps, because I like it to be torquey and not have a lot of top speed. Out here, I've actually dropped 2 teeth because a lot of the jumps at that 90-foot range. We have like a lot of them around there, which is like, I was on the edge 52, I was riding the limiter. It was starting to flatten out too much and I didn't have anything. I was like, I hope this is the speed because I got nothing left. So I dropped to the 52, or from the 52 to the 50 yesterday, so all my gears run out a little longer, and it actually made a huge difference. So other than that, I mean, basic thrill seeker seat cover, you know, that keeps you on the seat when you're throwing whips, seat bouncing, and good old Renthal bars. I guess, hey, that's a change. I know it's just handlebars, but I did change to the fat bar this year. I was running the crossbar. I personally don't like, I like the way the crossbar looks, but honestly, these things, especially motoing, the little bit of just the extra flex, just because wrists and like some of the hard landings we take, especially out here on this course, it actually makes a difference at the end of the week. You just ruined it, man. If you want a real bike, it's actually this guy. He still gets like factory pro circuit pipes.
Hey. Just can't get rid of them.
Really, suspension is the biggest thing. Honestly, these bikes are so good now. You don't need a lot done for this type of stuff, and you just need good suspension and I guess wheels too. I do have my wheels done because I don't want to be breaking those. I've had a couple front wheels go out on some drops, and yeah, I'm not into that. So wheels, suspension, seat cover, bars. That's all you really need. You can do everything exactly the same. Big whips, big jumps, no problem.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm Kohl Denney. We're out here at Imagination 4.0, and this is my trusty steed here. It's a RNC built 2022 Honda. I was at a crossroads this year as like, do I go new bike? The Honda is pretty much the same, so just figured rebuilt it. Robbie went through the motor. Got a high compression piston, but mapped by Twisted Development. Give it a little more pepper. Key features though, I'd say main thing, suspension. So the homie JBI, good suspension saves lives. I tell everybody, even if you're not at a pro level, you might want to check with a suspension guy, your local suspension guy, and kind of get that figured out for not only landings, but takeoffs. That's something people don't think about, especially if you're out here on some of this stuff, you're really hitting G-forces. So yeah, if you're speeding on the track anywhere and you're creating force, you want to get your suspension figured out. I have one Warp 9 front wheel, still waiting for the budget to get the matching rear, but the gold hub's pretty cool. I kind of throw back to like, you know, 1980s Honda stuff. I've been riding Hondas since birth, basically. I have a couple three-wheelers at home, and I was kind of always rode Honda. We're gonna see here though this year, you know, I ride quarter pipe, and I'm trying to leave no stone unturned on that, and I went 49 feet 8 inches this year at X Games, which was last year's world record. Nothing to scoff at, but pretty much was feeling like I may have hit this bike's potential. So I'm gonna be weighing out options there. The main reason I don't want to switch is honestly convenience. I know where the oil filter is on this, you know, but yeah, it's been a great bike. I ride the Hondas really well, but I'm starting to think, and coming out here too, it's just, I gotta really be real on, you know, like, you know, what could be the best option for me. But that's what happens too when you're, you know, these jumps absolutely push your bike and body to the limit. So it's all fun. It's all been part of the journey. I started off pretty much riding stock bikes, even as recent as like 2017. So every year I just keep kind of building the program. And yeah, it's fun. That's my bike.
What's up, guys? Patrick Evans here, Imagination 4. Doing a quick rundown on the bike. I'm a little slow today. It was a late night. Today's our first off day, but not really anything too special. The main thing on my bike is suspension. That's like, that's all that matters really. It's WP, Jordan Silva does it, and it's super stiff. Jason Lawrence once said, I want my bike to go through a damn wall, and that's kind of like it. Keeps it safe. You go deep, you can case, you'll be able to pull it off. This is actually my quarter pipe suspension. It's a little deader rebound than most bikes. I think for quarter pipe, we're trying to like get it to rebound at the perfect time on the ramp, so it's kind of set up a little different. But it's similar to like whoops. Like I think a good way of setting a race bike up is hitting whoops and making sure your bike's level. It kind of works the same way on the quarter pipe. So I've just been running it. Other than that, just powder coated frame, flow tie pegs. Anything else trick? We got some JBI titanium gold bolts. Gotta have that. Got them on the triple clamp as well. Other than that, she's pretty much bone stocker. I think I have an XPR high compression piston. Run ETS fuel to kind of compensate for that. And that's about it. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit extra bark on her. Actually could have used a little more horsepower. Maybe next year we get a real XPR motor build for quarter pipe and get up in the 50s. But yeah, that's about it.
Hi, Julien Vanstippen here. So this is my setup for my KTM 450. I ride stiff suspension. We make grab balls for some tricks so I can hold the seat here. We have the flip lever, so we use it for like tsunami flips, so to get back on the bikes. If we don't have it, we don't come back on the bike, so which is not very good. And stabilizer, so when we leave the bars doesn't move too much. Usually I ride foot hook as well, so I can do no end flip and double flip, so I stay close to the bike. And yeah, that's most of the parts I ride for freestyle. This is it.